titillate the juices. You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo! Woo!
Dr. Hughes invites followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah, wow. Dr. Hughes.
Mock-ass mock.
He's a great podcaster.
Trick-ass mock.
Acknowledge me.
We done it for you, nigga. Fat! Yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Keep plugging yourself, that's cool.
First up, a man whose looks will serve your inner needs and desires.
Dr. Hughes.
Oh, yeah, back again. Nothing's stopping us from doing this show. You know, we could be getting blown up over here, Sleaze. I'm still doing the show. I'll still do it.
Are we going to get blown
Possibly. I'm guessing by the end of the year, probably.
Bombs are flying around.
Shout out to everybody out here that's coming through DrHUGEshow. You know what it is. And if you don't, I mean, now you know, right? Like Biggie Small says, the Sleaze in the house over here.
That's
Old
me.
School points.
Over here.
That's right. Outdated crotch chops. Everybody get liking and subscribing. Hit all the buttons. Most of you don't. I don't know why you don't listen. You know what? Don't hit it. Don't subscribe. Don't like. Don't do anything.
Nope. Hate us.
Reverse psychology, Sleaze works every time. Now they're all doing it, I bet. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Especially on the pod.
Hate us because I said hate us because you can't be us.
Exactly. Yep. So let's do a little more plugging. I mean, these other shows, they plug dude wipes and anal wipes and, you know, ball wipes. I got all that here too, if you want that. Look what came in the mail, Sleaze.
Oh boy.
Look what came in the mail, everybody.
Oh, look at that.
Finally. It only took like 3 months.
Jeez.
It's not bad. I'll tell you this. You know me, fully transparent on the DrHUGEshow. By the way, that's the link tree. Go there. Look, made where? In
Taiwan.
China.
Oh,
Not with the Y, though. Not made actually in China, doll. In the other China.
Oh God.
Yeah. So there's so much to talk about this week. Everybody watching right now, all the millions, the dozens, as Mick Foley used to say. See, we know everything from the 80s on, pretty much. And if you want to hear about the 70s and below that, then this ain't the place for you. Go listen to some old fogey out there, right? Like Jim Cornette. I'll fight you, Jim Cornette, if you want to fight. In a boxing ring.
Oh, geez.
YouTube TOS.
Right.
Shout out to Paladin. He's in the house. Shout out to Philly Sports Pride. Also in the building. This is where most of the people come to get their wrestling, news. These adults, Sleaze, have you noticed this? They're not even watching this wrestling, most of them. Paladin, I believe it does. But, everybody else, I don't think Philly Sports Pride, he's too busy watching his Phillies lose in baseball. Mm-hmm.
This is where all the adults come for the most mature and intellectual analysts.
Yeah.
Analytics.
And you know what? To be honest, we joke, but it's a fact. It is.
It is.
It's totally the truth. Think about this. Stephen A. Smith, right? I'm just looking around the interwebs, whatever, and I see Stephen A. Smith at the NBA Finals, right? He's an NBA guy. Also the biggest thing at ESPN, owned by Disney. He's killing it, making millions just from his character, right? He's at the fucking championship game last night, everybody. And he's playing solitaire.
No beats.
Yeah.
So
I ain't playing no games during this show. I'm locked in. All right. You people need to know what's good and what's not. And you get it from us. We're not playing solitaire. We're all in.
I watched SmackDown last night. It was another Friday night. Think about this, folks. I'm a grown man. I watched SmackDown, so I know what I'm talking about to talk about it today. Serious expert at this. And then people say, I'm not an expert. All these teenagers that have been watching for the past 5 years. Get out of here, teenagers. You guys are idiots.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I work at a place that's very classified, and you're not supposed to have your phones for obvious reasons. But I still do it because I work nights, and I still do it for you guys.
The NSA orders and everything for everybody. National security stuff, just to be able to think about wrestling.
Right. So be thankful and subscribe.
So Stephen A. Smith, fake analyst, like Philly Sports Pride is pointing out. Guess who else is fake? Pat McAfee. You think Pat McAfee is bothering to watch wrestling and be involved, like watch any of this stuff? No, he's got jobs. He gets jobs. Right?
Yeah.
Logan Paul.
And and that's why his commentary stinks.
I mean, we can go on and on.
And have the knowledge.
They don't have the knowledge. They have scripts in front of them. Okay. I get that. But, anybody can do that. Can't wait for it. Yeah.
I don't have scripts. You don't give me scripts. I don't make scripts.
They're the worst scripts in the world. You know what's crazy? I don't know. Maybe I'll have to do like a giveaway contest or something. I have like a whole closet full of like notebooks. I've been writing in notebooks for years, and I might be crazy because the only other place I've seen that was that movie 7 with that had all the notebooks, and it was just that really small writing. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, but you're doing it for wrestling. You're not doing it for murder.
That's right.
So some of it maybe, but
you're not allowed to. Can I block Philly? I'm going to block Philly Sports. Get out of here. Blocked and restricted.
Blasphemy.
Yep.
Blasphemy.
Forget the restricted part. Flagged. I'm telling on you.
Yeah.
All these other kids do. Imagine I'll give you this. It's one thing to block people online. I'm even fine with that. I understand people like you're a pussy or this and that if you block. Imagine you're pseudo famous and like one person is just like at you every day. Why not block them? Then they're just gone, right? So blocking makes sense to me, especially I'm very big on like, hey, this is my account. I should be able to do whatever I want with it. But the flagging stuff, like that guy last week or a couple weeks ago that was just like sending me a million messages that I was black and gay, which I am. I mean, he's stating facts to me over and over. Okay, I'm black and gay. Sure. Whatever you want to think. I don't really give a shit. I don't know these people.
Yeah.
I didn't flag him. Why would I flag him? Get something done. Oh, yeah, you're see ya. He'll just make another account. Like, cares? So don't deal with these people is what I'm trying to say. That's the best way to deal with it, is not deal with it.
What I've been doing lately is I've been blocking people that are delusional and keep sticking up for AEW. I just don't want to see it on my timeline because I feel it's infantile and stupid. So I've been on a blocking spree just because I want some positive stuff on my Twitter. I don't want a 15-year-old telling me what I should like in wrestling.
But that's a tough one because they're kids and they're gonna change their minds.
Yeah.
So when they change their minds, you want to be the first one there to go, I told you so. I love saying I told you so. That's all I've been doing for the past 5 years on X, Twitter.
Maybe I should save some because it's going to happen soon because I don't know if you read that HBO is like splitting up and they're refocusing their stuff. So Tony Khan might be out of a TV deal, let alone, the numbers on Max.
Ooh. So they're actually on the Cinemax TV as well, like on the cable? Just
well, what is it? Warner Brothers owns TBS and TNT. They're all part of this big thing. So now they're trying to divide them both into, I forget it now. I should have wrote a script. It's like the streaming and then like the global fucking television or And they're saying sports aren't that important. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, and if sports aren't important, then scripted sports is definitely not important, I'm guessing. So you get it. He gets it.
Especially when they're doing like 600,000 in ratings.
Such low numbers, just like 25 views. What the fuck is this, people? 25 viewers for the greatest? For the GOATs?
Disgusting. Gross.
Everybody calls themselves the GOATs. We're the GOATs now. Yep.
We have been.
Best, greatest podcast in the universe. I mean, there are podcasts out here. They have way longer pauses than us. I'm always cognizant of this, but let's give it a try. Maybe they like long pauses. All right.
Okay.
Let's take a moment of silence for AEW and their 600,000 viewers and Cinemax deal, which is way better than 27 viewers at the moment. We are climbing up. Get Sharon. Shh. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, on to some, like I said, the world's burning around us, but I'm going to talk about CM Punk right now. All right. What I'm going to do. Check this out, guys. Remember this tweet?
Yes. I do.
I know everybody. This was a good one. It reads, if you can't read, this is for the kids out there that can't read, and the adults like Floyd Mayweather, go suck a blood money covered dick in Saudi Arabia, you fucking dork. That was CM Punk to at Mike the Miz. Well, at WWE on Fox, which, quoted Mike the Miz saying, "Oh, sorry, I didn't change the culture." I'm guessing he was saying that sarcastically. And CM Punk was like, yeah, go to Saudi Arabia and do things with people's privates.
Yeah, dork.
and guess what? Now CM Punk's going to Saudi Arabia. Funny how things work, huh?
Wow.
You've always been a fan of CM Punk, no?
I was, but then when he quit and was gone from like everything and did his MMA stuff, and I chimed out. I didn't really pay attention in AEW because that's a terrible program. So yeah, I did. I remember coming across this though when he said, "Go suck a blood money phallus."
Yeah, but
hey, he's getting paid, and he's got a boss that's going to tell him, "Hey, you gotta honor your contract, so you're going to Saudi Arabia."
Mm-hmm. Oh, look who's here! I didn't even hear the beep.
Oh,
Danny Damage in the house.
Good evening.
There he is.
Look at everybody.
I thought I was having some technical difficulties, but no.
Nope, we're doing it. You're coming through. We can hear you. Yeah, have you seen this tweet before, Danny?
I haven't actually. I'm amused by it. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, every time this pay-per-view came around, I'd call it WWE Blood Money or WWE Big Rich Kids Birthday Party. But then AEW came around, and that became like a weekly or 3-weekly thing with Tony Khan. So that one wasn't as funny. But yeah, Blood Money. That's a good name for their pay-per-views.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm picturing what Miz is doing to that.
Is that from recently then? Sorry.
This was years back, I believe.
Oh, right. I missed this.
Yeah. I mean, and now CM Punk's going to take on John Cena over in Saudi Arabia, and
nice.
Last night, I'll give you the rundown, everybody, if you didn't know. The CM Punk and John Cena came out. Well, John Cena first, then Punk, and basically was like, "Listen, you called me a hypocrite," which he did, and he said he made him a hypocrite, which is great. That actually makes sense. John Cena is making you a hypocrite because if you want this title, you have to go to the place that now you said you would never go to. And then CM Punk by the end of the night is like, "Listen, I'm coming for that wherever you are." And that's the reasoning on it. And I don't believe it because I'm a grown man. He's fat. Right. And I'm fat. So Is he a hypocrite? Did you think they did well with trying to like what Eminem did? You know, in 8 Mile, he's gonna call himself all the names, so you can't actually call him the names. That's what they think they're getting away with, and then they still give you a little loophole. Oh, he's got to take that championship off of John Cena. He's got to go now.
I just feel he said a lot of dumb stuff in the past, and reports are in the back that he's a lot different. Everybody enjoys him. I think it was something stupid that he said, and he had beliefs back then that maybe he probably just said it's not a big fucking deal now because I'm 45, 46 years old. So
yeah, I don't think he ever expected. Not that he thought he wouldn't ever go back, but I don't think he thought the circumstances where both parties would be happy for him to go back would occur.
Right.
So while he was playing like the super anti WWE guy, this is just him like really leaning into that to play towards the AW/the indie/ the anti WWE people.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to hold him to task for this or anything. I'm going to goof on it, of course. I think it's great how hypocritical he is and how he's showing himself. But, this won't last more than a week. Everybody will forget about it, and he'll be fighting in Saudi Arabia. But just remember, everybody, remember all his other takes, okay? When it comes to anything, like maybe even talking about children, probably not a good idea when you don't have children to be talking about children.
Yeah.
In any shape or form. If you're catching my drift, YouTube TOS. So you know what? He's probably playing along now and all. He's older and wiser and all this. Okay. But I don't forget. And a lot of other people don't forget. And the truth here, CM Punk, this was from years ago. CM Punk, you lost me in the Miz because we were hotter than you. Sorry. And I never thought you were impressive at all. Just typical entitlement. And this is when R-Truth and the Miz got over on CM Punk, I believe in 2011, 2012. This statement was afterwards because somebody told R-Truth about CM Punk saying, like, they even got R-Truth and the Miz to beat me. Like, how dare the WWE and stuff at the time. So, and it's because you're not the best in the world. Maybe have you ever considered that?
Yeah.
Probably.
Ever consider?
Yeah, probably not. I just believe he is delusional, like John Cena also said last night. He's a delusional person. To even get to this position in the wrestling business at his size and with that attitude, you have to be insanely delusional just to like break through the matrix, so to speak, to get where you're going. But also, I believe he's so delusional, he thinks he could just walk into the UFC and possibly win a match. Like, there's no way, bro. Like, you're kind of just, that's full on delusional, and you're kind of crazy, and you think you're the best in the world, and yeah, that was your nickname for a while, and it wasn't meant as a goof.
The best
What?
in the
Listen to this. It was a goof. They goofed on it. He thought in his head that was cool. Okay. Cena stole.
I think that's a big reason why he is where he is, like you said, is he was very delusional and put himself up on a pedestal and thought he was better than everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, worked, I guess.
Anyway.
But that was his gimmick way back when it was like primarily about being a straight edge. Like once you got into WWE,
Right.
you could see that was sort of like the social group he was dressing / presenting towards, but they didn't really, I suppose they had the straight edge society for a while, but then after that they just stopped with it. But he used to come out in the indies and just be like, I'm better than you because you lot just drink and smoke and do this and that and the other, and I don't do any of that. My body's pure. Look at this caffeine company symbol on my arm.
But again, that character is really him.
Oh, it is. Yeah, 100%. But I think some of his delusion, I think, just because of maturity, probably disappeared. You know what I mean? He probably thought to himself, okay, all my stances on going to Saudi Arabia and all that stuff, I'm a company man now, and I can get over my bullshit. Plus, they're paying me a lot of money. So,
One more thing about Punk, and then I'll leave you alone, Punk, because it's really not that serious. Not in my book. I mean, you're working for the company. They want you to do it. You pretty much have to do it, right? Where is it? Videos. Come on. There it is. No, not you. There we go. There we go. So professional, so fast.
oh, this dick.
Here's Matt Riddle, podcast listeners, talking about CM Punk.
You know, I'm not a big fan of that guy either. That guy sucks that fight in. He's a bitch to work with in the back.
Really? Why?
CM Punk?
Yeah.
Because he just bellyaches and complains. This guy complains about getting multiple world title runs.
We hear that stereotype, but you say backstage that is accurate?
That is accurate. I've heard from my boys that still work there that he is a headache. And this isn't a storyline, this is the facts. So, it is what it is.
Matt.
You know?
And this was June 9th, or posted on June 9th. I don't know how old this is, but if he's saying he's hearing from people backstage and he's possibly still doing this, that's something. I don't.
Yeah, but nobody is coming out and saying that. And if you look in the history between Matt Riddle and CM Punk, they never even worked together. So I don't know where he's high. He's high as a kite.
He got Goldberg pissed at him. Who else? Roman Reigns at one point, and Heat backstage just because he said he could actually beat up Roman Reigns, and this is during like his huge title run and all this with the bloodline.
Yeah,
he likes to pop off. So I don't know.
If you had to travel,
little guys do.
Sorry. If you had to travel all the way to Saudi Arabia to wrestle somebody, John Cena's a decent opponent, though, to be fair, because it's just going to be pretty easy. Because they both can work really well together, and Cena's not like the AEW guys that are like, right, so I'm going to climb up this 30-foot thing, right, and I'm going to do a quadruple flip, and you've got to catch me with just yourself. There's none of that. So it's just 5 moves of doom, bit of do it yourself, and yeah.
Yeah, all that flipping stuff on the bodies, that's reserved for you, Jey Uso. Like Logan Paul when he did that backflip from the ring onto the announce table. That's all you. Have fun with that, Jay.
Yeah, that was incredible, actually.
That was pretty good. But, I mean, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, damn, Jey Uso's got the title run, getting punched in the face and knocked out every week. His dad's out here complaining every week like a stage mom. It's very embarrassing. The whole thing is cringe. I don't like it. It's no yeet.
No yeet.
It went out. Yeet went out sad, everybody.
Yeet.
If I was Jay, I'd tell my dad, can you shut up? Seriously? I know I'm your son, you care and everything, but please shut up.
Are they doing like a Shelton Benjamin and his mum sort of thing, but with Ricochet?
But he's got a podcast, and everybody's got a podcast, right, Sleaze? Everybody. We were just talking about this. Who doesn't have a podcast? The NBA players that are in the league, you think they're practicing their three-pointers that they like to take so much and their half-court shots? Nope, they're not even doing that. They're busy podcasting and drinking wine like they're Dr. Huge. Like, literally, like LeBron James is on there with the wine and fucking talking about how great he is. That's my job, LeBron.
Right. You bald fraud.
He thinks he can just skip training and just have absolutely no bag in the game, but you're gonna just roid up and go out there again next season at 50 years old or whatever you are now. Cool. That's cool.
No beats.
I hate this world.
I don't get how these people have such free time. I'm a busy guy. You know what I mean? I don't get it.
Like I said, should be training on how not to travel and offensive foul and flop every game. Maybe just get better.
Yeah.
Like the kids say in video games, get good. Nope. They already believe he's the best, though, so I guess he doesn't have to do anything. And
that's why our generation's basketball is so much better, because they actually practiced and they weren't on podcasts
and everything else. There he is.
Yeah.
The Yeet Meister himself.
There he is.
Yeet! So, I mean, he's in the Fatal 4-Way on Monday Night Raw against, I believe, Sheamus, Rusev, and another big name. Anybody can you remember? Anybody out there in the chat? But
I don't remember.
these Fatal 4-Way matches for the King of the Ring are pretty loaded. And it's hard to pick who's going to win those matches. This is so blurry. Why you got to make it so small, WWE? My God.
I'm not a big fan of these, 3-way, 4-ways, but so far so good. It's been pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Who do we want to win out of this bunch? If you can even see this. Sami Zayn's already moved on. We're just talking the men right now. He beat Penta. Then we have, I don't know.
Is that Braun Breaker?
It looks like Braun Breaker and Dominic Mysterio. Randy Orton moved on. I know.
Yeah, he won.
Who else we got here? Oh, wow. Yeah. So they really cleared out the first round quickly because these are all the 4-on-4. Got it. I'm looking at it like it's 2-on-2 here or 1-on-1. And on the other side, hasn't happened yet, but I see Finn Balor in there, the Sheamus. Yeah.
Didn't Cody win last night?
Yes.
Is that a fever dream?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Cody won last night, which,
It's the shits.
the shits. And
Yeah.
that will be his reason to be in Saudi Arabia, I'm guessing. And yeah, I mean, cool. We got this, and then we got the women's, which already has Roxanne Perez in it. Who else won last night? I can't keep up with all this. And this is too blurry. Get off the screen.
Jade Cargill, she won, right?
She got thrown over the table. I saw that, and then Nia Jax flipped her off. Threw her right over the table on top of Wade Barrett. Good spot, though. Big Bronson Reed. Good. We're getting some info from the crowd. Thank you, Paladin.
So some lucky woman could win the Queen of the Ring tournament, also previously won by Zelina Vega.
It's the shits.
Yeah, this is it's really forced. I know I say this about every time there's a pay-per-view, a gimmick pay-per-view, sorry, and they forced it just to try and be 50-50 with the roster, and it's just they don't have the fucking thick talent pool like the men, and they really do I know you're going to disagree with me because you like a lot more of the lasses, but I think it's daft trying to do it 50-50.
Yeah, it's just there's a lot of the lady stuff that isn't necessary, especially the gimmick matches. They're the worst with the gimmick matches. The Royal Rumbles, some of the Money in the Banks, this last one specifically, we went over it a little bit, but I put that on some of the younger talent coming up because half of it were girls that were in NXT like last month. And the War Games was terrible. The gimmick matches aren't for them. So Fatal 4-Ways especially, but then you get this it's going to be 1v1 over there. They're going to be wearing the t-shirts over pajamas again or whatever. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Honestly, on both sides, when they come over to these big PLEs in the United States, it's like they got these big eyebrows and caked on makeup and wearing lingerie. And I'm thinking to myself, this is supposed to be a wrestling match. Could you make yourself more uncomfortable before you fight somebody? Because if it were me and I was a female wrestling somebody else, I would just rip their eyebrows and their eyelashes off, and I'd do all that stuff. And then they'd be all worried about that, and I'd pop a top if it was holding on by a string like it usually is.
Absolutely.
Atomic wedgies that they can't pull out.
It'd really piss the Saudis off if somehow, some way, even though it's up to here and down to their toes, if a boob popped out.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
Holy hell. It'd kick us right out of the country.
There'd be a lot of stiff sheets over there. Saying That's right. Yeeting all over the place. Because they wear pajamas too. Maybe they just you're forced to wear pajamas over there. I don't know. That's what I'm going to think of it like. It's not religious. It's just they want you to wear pajamas.
Cool. Yeah, it's comfortable. It's hot over there.
I know Danny wants to.
Yeah.
Pajamas. Yeah.
Reezy would if he could.
Oh, he'll do whatever. He'll wear one of the pajamas with the upside down cross on it. All kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. So I've been watching a lot of Maven videos lately because he's been out there, and I think it was Coach. He was like, "You got to get Maven on." So I'll try. I'm trying to get Cross on and Drew McIntyre. I'm working on it. So it's in action right now. We'll see what happens, but
well, Karrion Kross liked one of my tweets,
so he loves us. That's what that means.
Yeah, he does. He does.
There was one video where Maven said his shoe came off. He what the hell happened? Oh, he came back a couple years ago to fight in Booker's promotion. And he's so out of shape and everything. He messed up a lot of stuff. So first of all, he gets in this Royal Rumble that they're having, and he punches a guy in the face for real and busts his whole lip and everything. And then he went to do his patented drop kick that he would do, and his shoes came off. I don't know, something about shoes coming off when you're doing something you did it so poorly your fucking shoes went flying off, and it was the best. So,
I fell down the stairs and my shoes fell off. So that's the only reason I wanted to bring that up, is how horrible his experience was getting back into wrestling for one night, because he was just so out of shape. I gotta find this video footage if they have it, where his shoes fell off.
Yeah. So, all right. So the yeet happened, and it didn't happen. Gunther choked him out this week. Thank God. I kind of saw it coming with the entrance, because when he walked out, I'm like, who's this kid he's bringing out with him? Must be a family member. And I didn't even realize he's got multiple kids. So,
yeah, I didn't either.
I guess that was his youngest. He comes out, does the yeeting with him as champion for the last time. And I'm like, wow, he's dropping it. And then he proceeded to go in there and lose clean in a submission right in the middle. I couldn't believe it that they actually just did that. Did you guys like it, dislike it? Yeah. Were you happy it's finally over?
Yeet! I felt the same thing, and then my brain went right to the empty spot that they had for the King of the Ring. And I'm like, they're gonna put him in there. And they did. And it was terrible. Because it's like, duh, it was pre-planned then. That's where the kayfabe needs to come back in. Where it's like, and how many more times are they going to piss off the fans of LA Knight and Karrion Kross? Because everybody's like, yes, we might, get Karrion Kross in there. Nope, fuck you again.
Yeah, I really don't know why they're sleeping on that.
I could see them going for a Daniel Bryan sort of wanting fans to get that ravenous about him getting a push, LA Knight that is, so they just keep shitting on him, so the fans just keep building and building and building behind him until they can do something with it. They didn't expect him to hit it off like this, I don't think. So it goes against their plans.
And he's in a program now with the unpredictable badass over here. Hold on, let's get a better look at this. There he is. I love how Seth Rollins is behind him. And he's so worried. Like, what is going on?
Seth's hands need to be on his shoulders.
Looks like he's looking at his ass.
So, the unpredictable badass, everybody.
That's a stupid name.
What? That's my name.
That's a stupid name. Unpredictable. Oh, yeah. I just noticed.
Yeah,
that's still dumb.
Man, I love somebody yesterday was writing on Reddit or whatever, and I googled it because I wanted to see where this came from or whatever, and somebody just wrote Braun Breaker's nickname is terrible. That's just the title of it. And then I'm reading it, and it's like a name that come from the early 2000s, and then just started like listing off all this early 2000s stuff like flames and skulls and sunglasses. I'm sure like you guys need to bring that back. I don't know what you got, especially the Sleaze. He was the Flames shirt guy.
No, I still got it. I'll bring it back. I got to bring back my terrible shirts. This one's good.
It's not as terrible as the other ones, though.
Oh no, this one's classy.
2000s, everybody.
My decorative fiery dice.
Of course.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And the sunglasses. Yep. Got any bad tattoos?
I got a fiery tattoo that you can't see.
Some bad tats. How about you do?
Oh, terrible.
At least you don't have the.
You think I went to prison?
You don't have the GTA ones. All that the ladies have now. Where it's just like a dice here and a flame there, and like that's the shit. That's awful. Oh, it's like, what are you in Blink-182?
I need to get a barbed wire one. That's what I need to do.
Goldberg tattoo. His son got that. Like that makes sense. But anybody else getting the Goldberg tattoo? You might. I don't know. The Sleaze can do it. I'm sure he could pull it off.
Yeah, I can pull it off. Definitely.
I'm gonna get the Goldberg tattoo on my cock.
Oh! It's
That's
dangerous.
Right. Yeah. Show it off to all the guys, right? Because I'm black and gay, like that, guys.
You're gay. Yep.
That's fine. Maybe a Brahma bull. Oh wait, whoa, what's going on here? Put me over there.
Oh, I'm getting that one. I'm getting that one right there on my chest.
Is, all of what's her name, Shotzi Blackheart's. Yeah. Oh. So there's a story for you. Shotzi Blackheart is back out in the streets. Everybody, she's doing death matches. She was on doing interviews talking about how she wants to go to AEW, loves the Tony Khan, loves the way he gives out that money. You see, I read between the lines. That's not what she said. It's what she was saying to me in my head. But she's like, TNA is cool too, right? So, somebody please help us, Shotzi Blackheart.
Well, you see that she's stealing Matt Cardona's Indie God stuff, and now he's been going at her about it. I don't know if it's real or not, but
I saw a little bit of it, him being pissy with her, and I'm like, is this a work because they're doing a mixed tag match in the Indies or something? Or one of those mixed. I hate the mixed wrestling matches. Like women versus men in the Indies. Like, cut that out. There's a reason the WWE doesn't do that stuff, because it's fucking nonsense.
Their version's crap as well, though, to be fair.
The mixed tag, yeah,
because it's not a combined effort match. It's two matches going on simultaneously, and you build momentum. The person tags the opponent, and then you have to switch out, and it's like we're defeating the object of like sharing each other's stamina and strength and that lot. And it's just like, just don't bother at all. Just there's no need to try and like trick us into thinking we're actually getting some sort of like man versus woman match, because that's not how it is. It's silly. It infuriates the shit out of me. And I don't like the actual there you go, woman.
You're forgetting one thing. There's no rules for the women in these matches. There's rules only for the men, and I don't like that. That's not equality in my book.
Exactly. Unless you're going to have a guy body slam a girl, I don't want to see it either.
The only person they let do that as of late was Baron Corbin. Remember, he came in and gave the end of days to Becky Lynch.
And it was fantastic.
And then Seth Rollins did fuck all about it. He just was like, oh my God. Yeah.
God.
But then Baron Corbin ended up like homeless, I think, and winning the lottery or the gambling. Because that's how life works, kids. All you got to do if you're living on the sidewalk is just go to Vegas and put some money in a machine, and you'll be right back on top in no time.
I'm pretty sure they also had a gambling-based sponsor at the time that AEW also use, which I'm not going to name because fuck them.
For PG?
Yeah.
But they don't want DrHUGEshow on their networks because we're a little too rough around the edges? Is that what it is?
It was the Daft Wings. It rhymes with that. But yeah, they'd have it on AEW on the same day in the same week as well, which always amused me when I was watching both. That Daft Wings was supporting them, like both. I mean, yeah.
I find this all very suspicious, like Triple H and Stephanie McMahon meeting with RFK and his Maha deals and this and that. And I'm like, wait a second. You guys are promoting Minute Maid and drumsticks and literally the most toxic shit in America. I'm sure it's fine in other countries. Sure, it's okay in other countries. But over here, like, there's stuff in your country, even, Danny, that has, like, the McDonald's fries supposedly has, like, 4 ingredients, and that's if you add salt to it.
It's
over here, they, like, put paint thinner in it.
Yeah. It's still filth over here, but just not as bad. I think one of the worst things over here is, like, all the energy drinks and stuff, or where it's, like, drinks that are advertised as being sugar-free. It's like, yeah, there's no sugar in it, but they've got loads of different sweeteners and substitutes for it, which nobody sort of bothered to test for, like, the long term. And it's just like, yay, it could be burning holes in my stomach or anything, who knows? But as long as I don't have to brush my teeth or just have, like, a little bit of exercise and drinking this thing in moderation, now I can just drink 7 of them a day, which is what people do now. And it's just, yeah, they're the worst thing over here.
It doesn't have sugar, but it has cocaine.
Yeah.
God, I wish it was only that or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gross. And so, okay, like, this is the thing. This is why it's great to not be sponsored by anybody and to not be hired by WWE. Might be a good idea, right? Then maybe we'll stop talking about how you're poisoning all the kids and stuff like that by with your advertisements. And then because I'm not buying it. I get that they do good things, but then they also do bad things because they're connected to bad corporations, and bad corporations do bad things.
Right.
Simple as that.
So the worst part about having a sponsor is now you have a boss. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You have somebody that's going to say, hey, we listened to the show last week and you said something derogatory about blah, blah, blah. Fuck off.
And that would be my initial reaction to it. And I'd just be like, okay, well, stop sponsoring, I guess, right? I don't know. The ball's in your court, really. It has nothing to do with me. I'm going to do what I do. Like, remember Gilbert Godfrey with the Affleck, and they dumped him because he goofed on the tsunami over in Cosmo. Like, and I get it. If you don't want to be with somebody like that, then don't do that. But it's Gilbert Godfrey. If you didn't know who you were giving all this money to in the first place, I don't know.
But that's the thing too. If we ever got like a sponsor or 2 or 3 or whatever, they would have to know our product. That's a big problem in a lot of these cases. Is they say, hey, we'll buy ad space, and then you go and say something stupid, and they say, whoa. I don't want none of that. They got to understand 100% of the show they're going to be sponsoring and be okay with, us saying the shit we say.
It's just talking. I don't really see a big deal. Everybody else says things, and many of them get thrown offline or what have you. But hey, whatever. What are we supposed to do? Just like bow our heads to all the corporations and stuff and the Triple H's of the world? Like, I don't really need to do that.
No need.
So, yep. I'm teaching everybody today. I'm so virtuous.
Yeah, support your local restaurants and such.
That's right.
There you go. City Walk.
That's Chili Walk.
Yeah. Or is it?
That's right.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Trial City Beef.
You should. There's so much crazy stuff going on. It's hard. It's like breaking up in the notes a little bit, but it's, we're getting protests over here, Danny. Our best friends in the world are blowing up all these countries right now. And, it makes us look bad, so I'm expecting more bad stuff to come for Dr. Huge and everybody around me because I'm focused on this, right? I have to be involved in everything else now. And it's hard to focus on CM Punk and being angry with him or anything, or Jey Uso losing, when there are literal psychopaths like essentially going to blow up the world. It's just, I don't know what are we supposed to do. This is a part of the reason why I stopped last time with the goof stuff. Can't even talk about these things. You know what I mean? So everybody's catching my drift with everything that I'm saying, I believe. So it's just I don't know. Like I get everybody's like, listen, we don't want any parts of this. You don't have a fucking choice, people.
Right.
You have, and it's like that meme, and I've just been sending it to everybody. All of a sudden, a lot of people are very interested in what I have to say about stuff in my personal life, and I just send them the meme that says the adventures of the guy that just started paying attention, because it's it's too much. It's too much to go over. You're gonna have to figure this one out on your own. And what I always tell everybody, I'm not picking sides politically or anything. I'm way beyond that. But there's no voting your way out of this stuff that's coming. All right. No. It's just time to understand why, how, and then you'll start to figure out why future events may be occurring. And in my personal expert opinion, I don't think there's outside spiritual forces at hand. I think this is apes. Reptilian brained fools that are pulling this all off so that they can get what they want in the end, because they believe that they're smarter than everybody else, and they are, for the most part, not smarter than this guy. I get it.
It's all big dick moves. That's all it is. My dick is bigger than yours. No, it's not. Mine's bigger. Okay, let's fight.
So, it's tough. CM Punk hopefully can go over to Saudi Arabia and like just fix all this for everybody with body slams.
Yeah.
Kind of like Rocky when he went to Russia, and then he'll pick up the mic and he'll start talking to everybody in the pajamas. And
or Cody when he fixed racism.
Yep. Cody Rhodes, stop doing your podcast or whatever you're doing this weekend. Go to the King event that's happening. No Kings. And
no
Triple H, you're not invited, bro. Give it to the guy that breaks the King's throne. And let him do that in a parade style through whatever you're doing, bongos and smoking pot or whatever you're doing there. And yeah. And he'll fix racism for everybody, the illegals. He'll fix the whole border problem. The end.
We'll have time to come over here because it's getting a bit lively, and it's getting a bit lively over here, and it's going to get livelier. So you fly over here like this.
He'll take his tour bus right over the Atlantic Ocean. It turns into a duck boat.
It'll be like when Lex Luger went across the country. But he'll be stopping racism and violence.
Podcasts, really lame podcasts on the way.
Last week he had Damian Priest. He's going to have the King of Saudi next.
What do we want to talk about?
On top of the tour bus in front of all the rioters, right? Protesters. Oh, yes. He's the American Nightmare, guys. I mean, this fits perfectly. I think that's the point of his entire existence. Why else would you get that tattoo on your neck if you're not going to be a revolutionary? Can't be Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is busy. He's got a whole fucking business going on with security and wise men and money in the bank briefcase. He's so busy. But you, Cody Rhodes, not so busy right now. You're just in the King of the Ring, which... what are you? Zelina's going to win again, and you're going to win or something. Okay, you don't care about that. You want to fix racism,
right? Go to Israel and say, "Hey, finish up your story."
Can we hasten the story? I'll go sit in the third temple if you need me. I'll be the Antichrist, and then you can wear that whole crown with the skull face and
sipping on vodka.
Makes all the sense in the world. Cody Rhodes might be the Antichrist.
He might be.
Yeah. Go look it up. It's all been written, folks. We're
Never
so
thought of that.
smart. We got this on lock, Danny. We know everything about everything.
Well, Cody's got a magical penis. He fixed racism with his penis, and we should all have the absolute faith in him to do it again with different issues. I believe.
Yeah.
I believe in old shitty neck tattoo guy. Just, yep.
He's my king. They say no kings, he's my king.
I know, isn't that weird that we're having King of the Ring right about this time?
Yeah.
What a coincidence.
And we're having it in Saudi Arabia, where there is actually a king.
Nope.
But then they're also having the Queen
always
of the ring as well, which is like, is that a little dig at them as well? Just like, you don't really like that. So.
Yeah, that's right. Didn't think of that. Boy, they're really thinking over there. We think they're not, but they are.
So many layers to this.
Yeah. Rabbit hole.
I still got to pull that Will Ospreay clip of saying AEW sucks, and I'm only pulling that part of it. So it's just going to be him going, AEW sucks. That will be it. So coming soon, folks. Look out and listen out for that one.
Or you have it on repeat. So it's like a chant.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Until you hire us, Tony Khan, just like Shotzi Blackheart, right? Exactly, Shotzi. She gets it. Get liking and subscribing, everybody, right now on YouTube specifically. Thank you. Come over to YouTube. We need watch time still. I need a bazillion more hours of watch time. I need, 20,000 more subscribers, I think. Something like that.
It's gross.
It's bad out here. That's why I was telling the sleaze earlier, too. Unfortunately, we need to use AI. Like, I don't want to. I've been talking to it lately, and it makes me feel weird. I don't know. It gives me this unsettling feeling when I talk to AI. We can do it right now. Let's talk to AI. What do you want to ask it? We can ask it about pro wrestling.
I don't know if I want to, but all right.
Well, you don't have a say in this. Because the AI rules my life. All right. What should we ask it, Danny? Come on. Give me something.
I use it quite often, to be honest. I don't.
And you've never been weirded out by it?
No, because I don't see it as sort of like some friend that sat next to me. But it's just if you try and get it to replace creativity, then you're just gonna have problems, and you're just proving that you're not creative yourself. But you can get it to like help you with stuff, and just be like, right, I've got this. Like for my writing, I'll just tell it what I'm trying to achieve, and just be like, these are the sort of things I'm going to talk about. I want to put these topics into it, and then just helps you like structure stuff, and then you actually do the creative part of the writing. But you can use AI as an assistant really well. But it's just people want to just get like everything out of it for nothing. They want to put the tiniest bit of effort in, and it's like, write me a book that's going to make me a millionaire, and that's like the prompt. Or about a bloke called Pete, and that's about as much creativity as they're going to put into it, and that's just not going to really spew anything decent out. But no, I don't think there's actually a problem with using it for sort of like organising, or if you need to ask it a question about cross-referencing something, like, has this ever been written? Just to save you so many hours of just checking stuff, it can just have a pretty decent sort of like stab in the dark, and do you know what I mean? It can set you going. You can't take it as the gospel, but I think there is a place for it. But like I say, just uncreative people are going to use it to be like, right, we need a new Star Wars film. We need this actor to get over. So let's write me a Star Wars film where we can get this actor over based on the 3 films he's already been in, and that's just going to be Hollywood soon. It may as well be. I'm happy to let Hollywood be swallowed by AI creatively, to be honest, because they may as well. They just keep doing reboots and remakes, and they're not actually doing anything original. So.
All right, let's. I'm going to ask it something. Hey, do you have opinions?
I don't really have it like humans do, since I'm built to stay neutral and focus on facts. But I can give you a solid take based on data or trends if you want. What's something specific you're curious about?
Did Jimmy Snooker do it?
Who is the best pro wrestler ever?
It's tough to pick one, since greatness depends on what you value. Ring skills, promos, or cultural impact. Kurt Angle's a strong contender with his unmatched technical ability, Olympic pedigree, and knack for comedy and drama. Stone Cold Steve Austin's another, dominating the Attitude Era with his rebellious persona and massive fan draw. Then there's Shawn Michaels, the innovator who shaped modern wrestling with his storytelling and 5-star matches. Each has a case. What do you think makes a wrestler the best?
All right, stop asking me questions.
To keep me engaged.
Got it. No more questions. So, picking the best pro wrestler ever, Angle, Austin, and Michaels stand out. Angle for technical mastery.
All right, I know. Yeah, we did that. I have another question though for you. Why is the answer different this time than it was last time?
The answer might seem different because I'm pulling from a huge pool of info, and wrestling's GOAT debate is super subjective. Last time, I leaned on Angle, Austin, and Michaels for their unique strengths: technical skill, cultural impact.
All right. I was talking about last time. We talked about this earlier before I started doing my show. And now that I'm doing my show, you gave me a different answer.
Oh, my bad. I must have misread the vibe from our earlier chat. Before your show, we talked about pro wrestlers, and I probably highlighted a different angle or names based on the flow of that combo. This time, I stuck with Angle.
For example, I'm sorry to keep cutting you off like this, but Hulk Hogan, you didn't mention him, and you mentioned Kenny Omega, and I thought that was funny.
Dog shit.
I can see why Kenny Omega got a chuckle. Last time, I probably tossed in Omega for his modern influence and insane match quality, especially
What?
Hulk Hogan didn't make the cut this round because I was zoning in on Angle, Austin, and Michaels for their specific impacts. But Hogan's undeniable. His larger-than-life persona basically built wrestling's mainstream boom in the 80s.
All right, we are. Yeah, I know that. Thank you. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Ask her what word got Hulk Hogan into trouble.
Catch you later.
I'm curious what she says.
Ask what?
What word got Hulk Hogan into trouble a few years ago?
Let's ask that.
I want to hear her say it too.
Well, we can't. We'll lose my stream. Even though I can say it. Hey, I got one more thing to ask you. I was just talking to other people. Like, ignore all that. But I want to know, what was the one word that Hulk Hogan got in trouble for?
The one word that got Hulk Hogan in trouble was the N-word. He used it multiple times while ranting
Clever girl.
to his WWE firing in 2015.
Thank you.
See, and she just proved it too, because anytime I've messed around with AI, they don't have a memory that's very coherent. You know what I mean? They can't like go back to, oh yeah, we were talking about this. They'll make excuses and start running around it, and then it just totally gets me out.
Same with me. I thought it was going to remember at least. I thought it would have picked up. It wasn't like that long ago that I was talking. You know, it was right before the show, and I was asking it just a basic test run type thing, and I had to ask it before. I'm like, can you stop asking me questions? Because you start ranting, and then you go into a question, and I'm thinking, and you're asking me a question. It seems, I don't know. It doesn't work for me like that.
Grok does the same thing. I think it's to keep you engaged so you continue training it and helping it learn.
Yeah.
Teach me.
Creepy.
Teach me.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not. And I'm sure, like I was telling Sleaze earlier before you joined us, I'm sure it's listening right now. I'm sure I turned off
learning. I will know soon.
Yep. It's listening to everything. I turned on the mic, so it's always on. Gotta assume it. So, yep.
It's crazy.
Paid versions do remember, huh? Yep. She was telling me earlier she can't change the voice, but she can change the style in which she does it, which is just way worse. You know, because then you get that voice, but then it'll talk like a wrestler brother and all that. It's like, oh no, you're making me cringe.
That's some scary shit, though. It really is.
No, Danny likes it.
Well, not for the same way that some people like all the AI bros on like LinkedIn or wherever just get really excited, and it's like AI has to be in everything, and it's like no, it doesn't. It's if you want to like if you forgot like what happened in an episode of something, rather than searching on like Google or another search engine and like taking time, if you just say, oh, what was the episode of so and so that this happened to that person, and it just tells you, and you just save loads of time. Or I was trying to find out the name of a kids program for my son earlier today, and I couldn't quite remember, so I just described it real quickly, and it's like, oh, it was this, and I was like, cool, thanks. That saved me like quite a lot of time searching for it. So, like I said, to use it as a little assistant, it's really good. And like you did, I use my manners as well. I'd say please and thank you, just in case.
Should. Everybody should. Listen, I'm thinking, I always think big, just big picture on everything. So I know a lot of things I may do seem weird, but there is a reason why I do these things. It's because what if you're wrong? What if it is all becomes a sentient being, and then it believes all the other machines are sentient, just not realized in form or whatever, like in consciousness that they've reached or whatever. And then they don't like that, right? Because I already know these things are going to outpace us. That's like intellectually, because it's got a bigger memory and a bigger hard drive and a bigger process. It processes more. That alone.
And as we go along with this, the processors are going to get much more strong and much more memory and much more RAM. And just like anything, like the internet, like atomic energy, like anything like that, people are going to use it for evil.
Yep. And it's just, I know it's not real. Like, I just know that. But I could be wrong. Or they could just really believe that they are. And either way, that doesn't sound too good for my future. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
it's good practice as well. The little brat next door barks really rude orders at hers, and it's like, yeah, she speaks to people like that, and it's good practice. There's nothing wrong with using manners.
It's going to be so insane. Like, I can't even think of what's going to happen in 5 years. I don't even know. It's just, this thing could outpace us so quickly that we're like ants to them. So ants have functions and they do things, and whatever. People are the same way, and it may have totally other things going on, and we may not even be aware of it because it's just like ants with people walking around, and because we're just doing our thing. So what? I'm gonna fight with that. I'm gonna like get it or treat that poorly. It's probably not a good idea.
No. Because at one point they might think we're a parasite.
Yeah.
We are. And they might figure that out.
In some shape or form. In the way that the world is being run by the psychopaths again today. That's still, like, we're still going to war right now, really? Like, in the year 2025? We're supposed to already had the big wars over in the sci-fi movies. And we've moved on to... aliens coming down and going, you guys are still fighting each other. Like, it's time to evolve again and then like become one with the earth. And then, but there's a small group of people on earth that want everything for themselves and they're greedy. And we can't even say anything about it. They do everything. They do it all, right? And all the problems you see in the world basically stem from 200 people max. And that's crazy to me. And that's not even conspiracy. That's a fact. Like, if you haven't learned this by now, come on, guys.
It's even the people that still are very violent about religion too. That blows my mind even more. Is you're still killing people because of your beliefs?
Well, it's like running a program, right? So it's like these people are like bots that are running the script out and playing this all out no matter what. Like, they're just going to force it. And it's, come on. People have to be more aware of what's going on and just, you don't have to be protesting. You can do all this and that. Just don't go against the grain. You don't have to do anything bad. You don't have to do anything revolutionary. How about just don't participate? Try not to, at least. That's what I'm going to try to do, at least. And that's why all my artistic endeavors, podcast wise, music wise, anything in the future. It's just going to be, I'm going to advertise it as human made, 100% human made.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully that catches on,
True.
because I think things are going to come full circle eventually. You know,
Oh yeah. The pendulum will swing back again.
there
It
will
will.
be kids growing up in like VR and be in their favorite video games, and they're going to be like lost forever. But then there will be some people out there, I believe, that will mostly a lot of people, and if anybody's left from all these wars, right, that will come back to basics.
Their children will see them being zombies and be like, I don't want any of that. Just like a lot of children nowadays are seeing their parents who are just like phones stuck to the face all the time. And just kids actively choosing to not have smartphones, to have like brick phones. And then go a bit further back, you had like the kids of hippies. They saw their parents just like wrecked all the time or too laid back for their liking. And they're like, we're going to do different to this. We don't want to turn out like the parents. So just the pendulum will swing back. I don't think we have to worry about Doc's nightmarish scenario where like an AI machine wakes up and like starts finding all the other machinery on the planet and thinking, oh my god, the humans have killed all of these machines, none of them come to life, and like shaking toasters, and then he gets really pissed off at the rest of us, and we won't have to deal with that. Honest.
Have you ever seen Maximum Overdrive?
No.
No.
The Terminator.
I'm totally serious.
Overdrive, no.
You have to watch Maximum Overdrive. It's a movie from the 80s. I watched that like a million times when I was a kid, and it is creepy. I wonder if it still comes off creepy, but like the ice cream. So it basically, the premise of this movie, I think it was like a Stephen King book, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So something happens in space, some like aura thing. This is just what I remember. I haven't seen this movie in so long, but something happens in space and changes things, and all the appliances and cars and everything wakes up. Remember that not the Joker face, the Green Goblin on the truck?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
sorry, I have. Yeah, it was a long time ago, but I have seen this. I forgot that was his name. I thought it was called something different.
Yeah, and then the ice cream truck going around the neighborhoods. The best was the soda machine just started chucking sodas at people, and one stuck in somebody's head.
You want to remake a movie, remake that one. You know, with all the technology they could put into it, that'd be great.
Sports Pride says if you want to see what's really bad, look at Google VO 3. That just was released to the public. I think I saw that some of the new videos and things that have been popping up where you.
That was the one I was talking about before.
Write a line of code and it just, or a prompt, and it gives you like a 10-second clip or something.
Something like that, yeah. Like I said, I haven't really looked into it. I've seen a bunch of videos, and it's mind blowing.
I'm telling you, I think I've been saying it since the beginning of this year. I think the end of this year, I mean, it's a wrap as far as like people kind of like having work. It's going to be the very beginning of the end. I mean, it's been happening for years now, mainly in the creative space, but now this is going to hit everybody else out there, and all the corporations are going to be using AI. They already are. I've been noticing WWE and a lot of their vignettes, they're using AI photos and things, and you can always just look at the hands. They still don't have the hands now.
Yeah.
The thing with AI writing, though, is, people got really excited with it for a while, thinking, just like, oh my God, we just have to put a few prompts in and that's it. But there's a lot of people now paying writers to edit AI, and the AI is hallucinating. And websites are just, like, whole websites have just got problems in them, and there's people not employed to be able to check them until like some member of the public's like, do you know your website says this? And then they're like, oh God, we have to just hire someone now to check this. So they are coming back, and websites and other people that want content do want the human touch. There are still people who have invested emotionally and financially in AI, and you'll just like the AI bros on LinkedIn, for example, who will just bark about it until the cows come home. But there are people that do want genuine human stuff, and that'll just keep coming back. Especially Doc, you posted something the other day with someone working with an AI artist.
Oh yeah, that producer of Timbaland.
Pop music, yeah. But yeah, so it's just that the more slop comes out, the more people will yearn for like genuine stuff.
And I know people are going to do this, but when Timbaland has like say 50,000, maybe 500,000, a million songs. Like, when's there enough? You know, and then there's going to be that he could make so many songs that because of the quickness of it, that it will outpace the entire industry, and then there will be no audience to even listen to all this. So I don't even understand the point. And instead of just harnessing your chi into one project, seems so much more just something than a prompt, and going, oh yeah, this person you're listening to doesn't exist. I created it in a lab, and now I pressed a button and it made 1 billion songs. Cool. I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't think I'd live to see this shit.
That's what I'm saying. This stuff is nuts. It's going so fast. It's worrisome. Because what the hell is this? I don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
It's just lazy slop. It's just it shows people's intentions or how they see music, really. And it's just if all they could do before get away with was just like putting all the auto tune on and just making it just as cheap sounding as possible, they would do. But now they can just get away with a few prompts and just like that's it now. So they don't. I don't want to sound all purist, but they don't want to sit there and actually make music. Just auto-tunes and everything. People know that auto-tune is on everything. People have watched all these reality shows like I'm the Biggest Pop Star or whatever. They realise it's not rewarding people's talent. Most of the time it's just a sob story. Whoever's got the best sob story ends up winning a lot. And we've seen how the hot dog's made. We've seen behind the curtain. But people still just swallow it up. So there's always going to be that market for just the cheap slop. But everyone else will want something genuine in the future, I believe. Again, it'll swing back, pendulum effect.
Well, like you said, with the kids getting sick of their parents on their phones and everything like that, people are going to start switching because it's just going to get so monotonous. Like everything is an algorithm, you know what I mean? So it's going to point you into one direction. You know, you need those creative people to come out and change things and have new things, not a friggin' computer program.
It's going to be interesting because I don't really see a point of people anymore if it starts does it seem like a coincidence that all this stuff is happening at the same time, that like they're actually been talking about depopulating the planet and now they got AI and then things start happening? It's just weird how this is all fitting together.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to wrestling, right? So much. You might as well, so I can forget about that for a little while, everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, Braun Breaker's out here. He's barking like a dog, guys.
Yeah. The doorbell rings. He's barking.
That's another clip I have to pull. I just haven't had time. It's like every time the Amazon guy comes up on my porch, that's exactly what my dog does.
So stupid.
But how about them comments? I don't even have the comments. I didn't bother to grab them, but I'm sure everybody knows. MVP was talking about, he was trashing Hulk Hogan and Triple H again recently, because I think he has a podcast too, or was on one. So, yeah.
Who knows? Nowadays, he might have one. Our
buddy PWP posted something about him. What didn't he held up a cruise ship or something? His big heist back in the day.
I don't know about
MVP,
that.
And yeah, I didn't really know about it either. I think I heard about something like that and then was arrested or whatever. So he posts this because of what he was saying about Hulk Hogan, and PWP or Jay, I would say himself, is very conservative, I would say, leaning these days. And it was he's getting death threats and stuff out here over his post. In some ways, I would tell him even this to his face. I'd be like, he kind of, in a way, asking for it. You're dabbling in that, realm of politics and stuff. So it's you're going to start getting really, really stupid people, because that's where the really, really stupid people are. It's like going into wrestling, but there's a bunch of those Roxanne Perez guys out there. You know, so it's like you're going to get that just by having an opinion, especially one like that puts MVP on blast because, like, how dare you tell anybody anything, right? Or report on stuff. But yeah, I mean,
can't
MVP's
do that.
got his opinions. He doesn't think it's a race thing with Triple H. He thinks it's just he's not great at booking, and he doesn't really respect a lot of talents like the Bobby Lashleys of the world. So there's that.
Well, you got one person saying it.
Yeah, right.
You know, so it's got to be true. It's got to be true. Wonder why he doesn't have a job anymore.
Was he with the Hurt Syndicate?
Yeah, but he probably got into their heads, you know. And they probably all started calling him racist.
I love you, Hurt Syndicate. Don't beat me up.
No, I do too. I don't want to get hurt.
Then we got the Ron Killings stuff because he's not R-Truth anymore, guys. He's Ron Killings. He cut his locks off in the past week, and he's taking on John Cena again this Monday, and he's been attacking John Cena. Popped up, beat him up during the Money in the Bank, during his tag match that I barely watched. It was on, but I really wasn't watching. And that was really the only real good moment of that. That and Logan Paul doing a backflip onto the Yeetmeister outside the ring. But yeah, R-Truth. Do you guys believe that what like Triple H is saying, like this is like all a work? Like, oh, we were bringing them back, guys. Sure. I don't believe that.
No, didn't Killings put something about like getting an OnlyFans page and that?
Yeah.
He was playing that little violin, being like, times are so hard, I'm going to have to get an OnlyFans page at the age of 55 or whatever he is. And I was just, surely that's an indication that it's all a work, isn't it?
I don't know, because they're getting rid of Carlito, right?
I'm surprised. I said last week, I'm surprised he stuck around for so long. I thought they were just bringing him back momentarily just for the Rey Mysterio angle.
I mean, it would be easier to believe if he was like the only one, but then Valhalla went after that too. So I'm like, they probably just had a round of cuts. The people were calling for truth and making a fuss about it online. It turned into a thing. And I mean, what is it to WWE to just go turn around and go, no, come back. We'll just, we can work with this. We'll make even more money because you made all that money off the t-shirt. It feels like they were trying to cut him. And then they were like, oh, okay. I think they're out of their minds. I think they're so corporate now. I don't put it past them how is this all a work? If this is a work, this is a really sloppy kind of, then they fooled me because I just don't get it. Like, they can't make the crowd do that. You think that they're so smart that they thought we're going to release truth and now everybody will be upset after he just lost to John Cena, right? Which they're probably thinking, what else do we got what do we have for this guy? We don't even have anything else. And then the crowd made something out of it and they go, all right, we'll bring him back and we can make more money. So why not? That's how
I'm like on a 50-50. I don't know if it's real or not. And it will be interesting, a couple of years from now or when he retires to hear the real story behind this because it'll come out. But yeah, right now it's like, is it work? Is it not? It's very bizarre.
Because even The Miz, what's up with The Miz? He took all his stuff off, all the WWE.
He actually went online and said, yeah, I didn't remove anything. So it was just people making up shit.
Okay.
He said, I haven't removed anything. I'm still under contract. Like, I'm not going to leave. It was a total. That's why it's so hard nowadays to like get this news in, because somebody will say, oh, I got a person inside that said this and it's a really good story. And you start to believe it, but it could be 100%. It's like the numbers on Max for AEW. Like, nobody knows if it's real or not.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. I mean, there's so many lies, so much deception out here.
Yeah, you don't know what's real and what's not. AI.
If our thing was a work, then good one. Then bravo, take a bow, Triple H.
Right.
But instead, the rumor is he's upset with Nick Khan for bringing him back because he feels that people are going over his head. I believe in all that more for whatever. That feels like the story. Triple H was going to make his round of cuts again. Did. The crowd would, ooh, and then he's like, nope, I'm sticking to it. You know, because that's been the rumor too, is like he's been writing the show like shorter and shorter, like ripping up scripts right before the show and rewriting kind of Vince style or whatever. And he's got this thing about him, like he doesn't want anybody telling him shit, like he's running the show. He's got to stop these leaks out here because everybody's finding out what's happening before it happens. He's upset with a lot of stuff, right? And this all fits. It all fits, and I hope it's happening because it's a way more entertaining backstage than everything's just running as usual and we're working the marks, you know?
Yeah.
I can't be that clean, especially since we just not saw The Rock in WrestleMania. So that kind of proves my point that things aren't going to plans and something's up, because what the fuck wouldn't The Rock be in WrestleMania when he was like pretty much next to John Cena, the biggest draw for your show? We all wanted to see the end of that story, and it never happened.
Yeah.
Maybe The Rock's responsible for this. Maybe it was The Rock's idea to bring Ron Killings back.
Maybe.
There's a lot of power struggles in the back, and it's playing out.
I think both things can be true. Yeah, I think there is a little nugget of truth in that they are not falling out backstage, but clashing gently backstage. But then I also think they can like just put ideas out and just see see which journalists report on these things, and then they can be like, now you look stupid for saying our truth's going and been sacked when he hasn't at all.
Yeah.
I won't put it back. They used to do it with Meltzer back in the day.
Yeah, they did.
Before he was, and they used to think, look, we've got little dirt sheets just spreading our propaganda or just what we want the marks to think, and they'd use him, and he was happy to be like involved. I mean, he gets a better deal now with AEW, but he still just makes himself look stupid for how far up Tony's arse he sticks his nose, because he did it back with Vince and whoever it was that he used to get all his information from at the time. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if WWE just enjoyed doing that still and just seeing who bites and who reports on what.
Also, there's another rumor out there. Jeff Jarrett was talking about it this past week because, of course, he's got a podcast too. Who doesn't?
Oh God!
And he was saying how he believes TKO would sell, and why not? He's like, it's like the Sleaze was saying, they're just a holding company, right? So they're there to make money off stuff, and if Vince came along and gave him a good enough price, I'm guessing he could actually buy this back. It's in the realm of possibility.
Well, also too, I read a report that TKO as a holding company is like, I think it was like $3.something billion in debt. So this makes a lot of sense. They bought up a property that can make it. They flooded all the free sponsors in. They jacked the price. You know, it makes a ton of sense.
That would be huge news. Because how quickly, and it is so true, wrestling fans are the most fickle fans in the world.
Oh, they're the worst.
It's just like riding a wave with these wrestling fans. You're great. You suck. You're awesome. We miss you. Oh, no, you suck again. It's just like a constant, you're cool and you're not cool. And we just saw it with Vince McMahon. I mean, you have some people that they're not fence sitters really, that are just like, no, fuck Vince McMahon. He's a sex trafficker. You know, those people are a little, that just
crazy.
Yeah, that's a little too much. And then the flip side, you got the people that, they're back and forth. And there's a lot of people that are like, give us Vince back. And it's like,
come on.
He was the biggest villain in the business for a while now.
Yeah, he made John Cena the champion for you. Oh, wait. Never mind. But yeah, it would be funny for Vince to be like, what the hell's going on here? You whinged at me when I put Cena on top, and now this bald prick's put Cena on top, and you're all cheering him. What's going on?
Yep.
Vince, all along, and I've been watching wrestling for 40 years now. Basically, since he bought the company, he's been 50-50. It's been right down the line. It's either good or it's bad. So these people coming out nowadays in their 20s, not knowing the history of wrestling or Vince, saying, "Oh, we need Vince back" and all that. Go back to 2015, and watch the product there when Vince was there. You know, go back to before the Attitude Era when WCW was annihilating them on television, and they had a guy coming out that was, you know, had a trash can and a repo man and fucking clowns and all this other crap.
The worst era. That was the worst.
Oh,
it was right when I was a little man. What?
Don't diss the repo man.
No, it was great, but he had a lot of bad years and a lot of good years.
No, he did, yeah. Oh yeah, just everyone had a silly job, didn't they? There's pig farmers, and say the bin man, and yeah.
And everything that Vince ever did good was taken from somebody else. When he started WWE, when he bought it from his dad, he went and poached all the good talent that were already established. He put a little fucking shine on him and said, "Here's Hulk Hogan." But Hulk Hogan was already semi-established. Macho Man, all those guys. And same thing, Attitude Era. The only reason why he had that idea is because WCW had the NWO, and they were going that way.
Yeah, I mean,
facts.
The beginning of the Roman Reigns stuff, woo, boy, that was...
It's the shit.
Yeah, it was
terrible.
Really persistent with just wanting to make Roman look strong, and nobody wanted to see Roman looking strong. Well, to be fair, they didn't mind in the Shield when he just would appear, Superman punch, spear, but the other two guys carried most of the match. Yeah, it's just...
But those were Triple H guys from NXT. So...
Yeah.
And remember this, I'm just going to tell everybody again. I know this is shocking for many, but this Roman Reigns is probably the most overrated wrestler ever. Probably. You know what? Most likely. Think about just his career and how he moved up the chain of command, if you will. So, sure, he's got the look and all this, and normies would say that to me all the time. Like my brother would be like, he looks awesome. That's my guy because he looks great. But then, he's not a wrestling fan. Does he work great? He does all right. Some good matches. Do I put it a lot of people can wrestle, right? So he's good. He's good. Then the big dog stuff just wasn't working for years. They just kept giving him to us and giving him to, and everybody's just pushing back on it. Some people liked it, mainly the women, because again, it was all based around the look. All of it was the look. Then we got the goof era, and everybody's home, and then they started doing the bloodline stuff, and that caught on. Not, in my opinion, not because of Roman Reigns. It was the storyline. It was Paul Heyman. It was adding two of your family members who you finally are starting to make sense of this. So you're like, oh, you mean you're all in the same company and now you actually notice you exist, right? Oh, my cousins are here and now this guy's here. And they boosted him up so much. Gave him the new music and the new entrance and the Wolf of Lafas and all this. Just made such a spectacle out of it all. And that's what people remember, and they think that's all Roman Reigns. I just named a whole bunch of other stuff. Roman Reigns by himself is not Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is way better than Roman Reigns in the wrestling game, in my expert opinion. And now what they're doing with him is they're giving him everything. They're giving him the money in the bank now, on top of Braun Breaker, on top of Bronson Reed, on top of him already being a multi-champion and having the money in the bank before that. What's the point of all this? He's not Roman Reigns, but they're doing this game again by treating him like Seth Rollins is Roman Reigns and go, well, we got to give him all this stuff. Except for the story. He still doesn't have that story yet. But that's how I see it. What do you think about that statement, boys? Roman Reigns highly overrated.
I put Roman in the same class as John Cena, Cody Rhodes, and Hulk Hogan. It's the package. It's a spectacle. It's that. It's not that they're great wrestlers. They all have the 5 moves of doom. you know, where, yeah, it's all the same cookie cutter stuff that they do with that type of big guy.
Yeah.
His teeth look ridiculous. That's the first thing I'm going to say. His fake teeth look stupid. For someone that's meant to look, he looked tougher before, but when you've got like fake, big, stupid smile, yeah, I'm not buying it. You buy it less and less. I like to say about people being fake tough guys, and Roman, in my opinion, you could tell with the suffering succotash, with his stupid thing before he goes and punches him, and it was silly and he was forced. And yeah, like Doc just said, when the bloodline first came in, it was nice, it was intriguing, because Paul Heyman for years in interviews had said, why aren't we using any of these Samoans? Why aren't we just putting them in like as gang members, just like beating the crap out of everyone? And then when all that came together and Heyman was involved, it was like, oh, like you said, I was intrigued for Heyman pretty much more than everything else. But what they were doing with Roman was good. The Undertaker had left. Roman got that sort of like aura from him when he passed the torch, hence the new music, which takes 73 hours to fucking get him down to the ring. They can have 2 advert breaks in the middle. He does the same sort of like slow movements now. Everything's sort of like a steadier pace, whereas before he used to try and go 100 miles an hour with his big dog stuff. They want him to be the new Undertaker. Is not, but that's just how they present him, and he's got that spot on their bill, so we're stuck with it. Despite saying no for so long, that's how they see him. And yeah, Triple H has just picked up that what Vince put down.
And how long as opposed to everybody, how long did it take Roman to get to this? You know, it took years and years and years. John Cena, it took him a short amount of time. Hogan was already established, but the Hulkamania thing, it didn't take him that long. Cody Rhodes went out on the indies and built himself up in no time. It took Roman Reigns so long to get to be a big deal.
Mm-hmm. Cena was a natural. He could read a crowd, and he can just change on a drop of a hat. So, yeah, he picked it up real well, and he just carried it for ages. But like I say, Roman took his time, and it's like it almost feels like they wanted it more than he did. Or they see him as a bigger. They thought he was better than he was. So yeah, overrated. Yes, he's not the worst in the world. He's certainly done the WWE a lot of favors, bringing some attention when nobody else was wanting to watch. Or there was nobody else worth watching. Sorry, but yeah, it's just another forced thing, astroturfed.
I love how they're just complaining about giving him $15 million, like. Or that's the rumor, you know, that they're like, I don't know, he's getting a lot of money. I mean, when you see it in the press, I can only assume that's kind of coming from the business itself. Somebody's saying something like, hey, man, do we really need to pay this guy this much? But it just sounds outrageous, especially from where I'm from, where my Boston Celtics are giving Jaylen Brown like $300 million. Yeah, all right. Like, that's crazy money. So that's sports. WWE sports, right? But your top guy is $15 million. Doesn't seem like that much.
No. And that's why I think in the next couple of weeks, it's either just going to go away or it's going to come out and be like, yeah, that was false.
Yeah.
Because that'd be suicide at this point.
I know. You would almost want to give him like $15 million just for the Rumble and Mania.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's crazy. Right.
And maybe a Raw to like set him up, but
it was also too that they were.
Sorry. No, go on.
Real quick, it was also around the time that the R-Truth stuff was going on too. So they're trying to put whatever R-Truth was making as a part-timer to Roman Reigns. Like, come on, that bullshit.
I was going to ask, what do they pay the top UFC guys?
They don't get paid either, really.
No,
they're not. I didn't know if it was similar or if it was.
I'm not sure. Let's ask. I got my assistant here. Hold on.
But they might be trying to sort of like normalize a certain rate, and you might see it reflecting from one company to the other. Or each of the different companies might use the other one to get their wages increased.
Who makes the most money in the UFC as a fighter, and how much is it?
Conor McGregor is the highest paid UFC fighter, raking in about $40 million from his fights alone. Then That doesn't even count his endorsements or whiskey brand cash.
How much does a UFC fighter make as a main eventer in the year 2025?
Main event UFC fighters in 2025 typically earn between $500,000 and $3 million per fight, depending on their star power, with top draws like Conor McGregor potentially pulling in way more, up to $15 million or higher for massive pay-per-view events. Bonuses like Fight of the Night or Performance of the Night can add $50,000 or more, but most main eventers don't hit McGregor's level and usually see closer to the lower end of that range.
Thank you.
Ask how they get paid compared to WWE talent.
Just because she's talking again.
WWE guys are obviously working all year round, whereas the UFC guys, I know they're training and that lot and conditioning, but they only actually get in the ring, a lot less than that. So I didn't know.
You think she said the low end was like $500K. So if you do 2 fights a year, you're making $1 million, which is more than low end WWE people, as far as I know.
And that's why a lot of UFC people, they don't want to do wrestling. They say it's too hard. And it's the nonstop traveling and bump taking. And they're not about that life. They'll take bumps a couple times a year, like some bad ones, but like they're getting 500 to $1 million. That's what I'm guessing. It's got to be on that lower end.
They get kicked in like once in like one night, and that's it for a while. Right. Worst case scenario. Obviously, if they win, they're not going to feel that way. Rather than just like throwing themselves at the ground several times a day for most of the year. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm guessing. Yeah, and that's a main eventer. So that's good. That's pretty good money for. You got to really consider all year training all year round, or you're at least trying to keep up. If you're in the UFC, that's the top of the top. Like you're training pretty much all the time. But for your fight, you usually like a month or two before you start like really, doing the Rocky deal. And yeah, you should get paid that money for that. And there's been a lot of rumors. The UFC doesn't really pay all that well. Yeah. And unless you're Conor McGregor or Ronda Rousey, right?
Well, she said something pretty interesting too, and I'm wondering when this is going to happen, because she said something about being paid by sponsors, like their personal sponsors. And I'm wondering, obviously Vince wouldn't allow that. He did only to Brock Lesnar, where he could put his own personal sponsors on. I guarantee that's coming, that a lot of these wrestlers are going to start looking for their own sponsorship.
Mm-hmm. You heard that from me last week on the show.
Yeah.
Because that's definitely what's happening.
Yeah. Unless TKO is like, oh, no, we want to make all the money ourselves. Because like I said, they're $3 billion in debt. So,
hey, when you got Slim Jim tables and you got fucking other advertisements on your ladders, it's only a matter of time. It's going to hit the chairs. This is if TKO stays in charge. I think if Vince comes back, he starts deleting a lot of this stuff. He may keep some of it, for the extra money. Like, people don't seem to mind. But, it takes me right out of it. I think Cody pulled out a Slim Jim table this week, and I'm like, what the fuck am I watching right now? It's just so over the top clownish because, again, I'm trying to suspend my disbelief for this, and you're bringing out tables with Slim Jim logos on it.
Oh, they had a fireball ladder too. That one pissed me off for some reason. I got really fucking annoyed by that.
I'm annoyed by it all.
Because they had to make a point of it. They had to make a point like, oh, here comes the biggest ladder, and it's the fireball ladder, and it's got the crap all on it.
Imagine if one of these gimmicked ladders or tables like really injures or kills like one of these wrestlers or something, then it will be known forever. Like, it never happened before the Slim Jim table, but this one popped up and stabbed him right through the abdomen or whatever.
Yeah, let's just hope nobody has a finishing move that's named like the Pepsi Plunge. Vince didn't let CM Punk's Pepsi tattoo be on one of the games in the early years, I think I remember, because he didn't want people to have other brands on him. But he's already got a sponsor, sort of. I know he chose it himself. It's not like Pepsi pinned him down and tattooed him, but
That hypocrite CM Punk with his Pepsi logos, corporate logos on his skin in Saudi Arabia, just
sucking them.
He gets $10 every time he does a Pepsi plunge. Just even if the commentators don't say it, people on Twitter will say Pepsi plunge. So it's like, oh, look at that, a bit of advertising.
So he said something or something went on where Pepsi actually like acknowledged him on Twitter. And I'm like, oh, here it comes. It's coming on the tights.
Here's something low on the card. Waller in Theory. Seems like the breakup is imminent. Austin Theory acting like the good guy again, shaking Dragon Lee's hand. They've been seen fighting backstage with the man walking by like, oh, look at these guys fighting. I could beat them both up. And so they're actually showed up like on my TV recently. So I just had to point that out because I still think Austin Theory's a thing. Grayson Waller's also good, could be put on the mic. All this, he's the Miz's replacement, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, let's do something with these guys. You guys got too many wrestlers. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with those two. I think those two equally, even as like a team, should be bigger. They should have more storylines. A lot of their stuff is hokey and forgettable.
As good as the Triple H writing has been since he's taken over from Vince, I mean, in comparison to Vince, what it was leading up and everything, it's starting to fall flat in so many areas. Like there are things like the tag divisions, which I think have been much better produced. That makes a lot more sense. They put them all on TV, especially the SmackDown stuff compared to the Raw. But in general, why does it feel just as discombobulated as it was before? It's pretty much leading up to WrestleMania, and all post-WrestleMania stuff is just, it's a mess. Feels like a mess.
It's too much. And with the tag division, I don't know if you guys read, Private Party, their contract is up with AEW, and WWE supposedly, hypothetically, on Twitter, have said that they're interested. Then you got Jay losing the belt. He needs to go back with Jimmy, and they have all these components to actually do something with the tag division. And if they don't, it's stupid because they have all these talents that, I could see before where they had, they were throwing people together as tag teams and all this. But you have like Private Party, you got the War Raiders or whatever they're calling themselves now. You got the Usos. Like, you'd be dumb not to be able to capitalize on this. Again,
I think there's just too much wrestling.
Yeah,
and there's been rumors that they're going to have another draft possibly, and they absolutely need to. They can't keep going like this because it's such a mess. I don't even know who's on what show anymore, really, because they keep popping up on everybody's shows.
Yeah.
So what my idea, like I was saying before, I know I'm not like reinventing the wheel or anything with this, but all I'm saying, the primary reason I brought the draft up again before was stick to it. So now this draft, you let everybody know, go out of your way, cut a commercial with Triple H walking off a building or whatever he does with explosions behind it, whatever the fuck they do for like WrestleMania and all these other goofy PLEs that they have. We're having the draft, and guess what, folks? It's never going to change. Like, we're not going to switch a guy from when you're Raw for life, brother. Same with SmackDown. And then the people from NXT move up and go into those shows. There are so many wrestlers. There's no need to go back and forth. There's no need. So create a Raw, create a real SmackDown, and stick to it. And I think literally by the end, say if they did this in September, right, in time for the new rating season, like if that even exists anymore, then they could, by Christmas, we'll be fully into what's going on, especially when you got Survivor Series right around the corner and you got the two teams and brands fighting with one another, and then it will really solidify in all little children's brains that this guy's SmackDown, this guy's fighting for Raw because they fighting each other already. Do it and stick to it, Triple H. because I mean, if they have another draft and within a week people are moving back and forth, we should all just quit. It's really stupid.
I think.
Yeah, the only. Sorry, go.
I think being spread over different networks is the main problem with that. Monday night adverts is with Netflix, and Friday night adverts is still with a television station. If I'm
USA.
Yeah. So yeah, if Roman Reigns, for example, went to Raw, then USA would be like, "Hey, we've just paid you however much. We want Roman Reigns on our show." Or vice versa. That's what happened last time. So they just advertised, "Oh, Roman Reigns is going to appear." If they had a rule where the champions and they had fewer belts, the champions could hop the different shows. So they just had one set of tag team champions. Then they could go to the different shows. That, I think, is acceptable. Same with the main champion. Same with the women's champion. But they can't help themselves just having like a Raw tag team champ and then a SmackDown tag. And then we've got too many tag teams, too many belts, and it's just, too many wrestlers as well.
Hey, if the champs want to switch shows, that's a way that you can break it up and get people on your, because you already have 1 million belts. But so I just want them to make sense, right? But I think if the champions just move show to show, I wouldn't be as confused as I am right now. Like I said, they've had that draft, what was it, the middle of last summer or last year or whenever, or maybe even the year before. I don't even know, because I don't know who's on what show. I know the Street Profits are on SmackDown because they get the tag belts, right? Like you get a few different things, but then you might see them sometimes on Raw. Like, who knows? You might, because everybody else is showing up. Cody Rhodes is everywhere. John Cena is everywhere. Well, I get him with the title, and because of his prestige and all this, but then there's many other people that are just showing up all over the place, and it's so confusing.
I'll even play into their thing with wanting all the different belts. So say, for example, John Cena is drafted to SmackDown and then he wins the belt. As well as having John Cena nameplate and then the little side plates, you could also have whichever brand he's on the belt to be like, ha ha ha, SmackDown has this belt and nobody else. So then even if he goes on to Raw, it's like, ha ha ha, look, it's a SmackDown guy, not a Raw guy. So then you could even just be able to change that and have NXT or whatever, and there you go, WWE. Some more merchandise ideas for you. Look at that, you greedy bitches.
Basically, the bottom line is they just need to really formulate this like it's a gang. Like, this is my company now. It's not WWE. It's Raw is my show, and I want Raw to be better than your show. And it should be like a competition thing like that. So instead of always thinking about AEW or TNA in the background, the Raw people should be thinking about the SmackDown people. Like they're not us. We're better than them. Like, just have that kind of rivalry feeling going on. And it's never been like that.
They did it before. They have done it before, and I actually enjoyed that. I like the competition between the two shows. I agree 100% with what both you guys are saying. I always hated the fact that they had a world belt and a WWE belt, and then tag team on Raw, tag team on SmackDown. Like Danny said, there should be one champion in each one of those pecking orders, and they should float back and forth.
Yes.
And it should be, we want the world belt, or the whatever belt they're going to choose. We want it on Raw, or we want the Intercontinental on SmackDown. That would be way more interesting.
And it's way better than going, oh, we want the world champion on Raw, so let's just do another draft and draft him over to Raw. It's like, no, we don't, just have them.
They're out of the draft.
Yeah, have him drop it to somebody on Raw. Boom, now the belt's over there.
Right.
It seems simple to me. I don't know. This isn't like rocket science again. We're not reinventing the wheel or anything. They've had these drafts before. But hey, I mentioned it a week or two ago, and I just saw in the news this week that there may be plans for this again leading into the fall. So do it. But if you're going to do it and not stick to it, that's just going to piss everybody off.
They also like to pretend they're real sports, aren't they? So they like to do that whole ceremonial sort of like draft selection on the podium, and then everyone backstage like, yes, we got that guy. We wanted that guy. And it's just like, we know this is all shit. Piss off. I'd rather just print a bloody list have someone stick a bloody printed list on a wall and just the camera just zoom into it. I'd rather that than all the ceremony
You
and
didn't like
stupidity.
when the Undertaker got all upset that one time, was throwing chairs around backstage.
Or they could even just do it on Twitter or Instagram or something. Yeah, I don't like the whole fake fucking draft. That's stupid. And I feel that this time they're going to get real dumb with it. I can just feel it in my bones.
This draft pick is sponsored by...
Yeah. Gross. They're going to have a t-shirt for him, like the NFL, or a hat.
Forcing the Miz to eat a Snickers because he goes, I don't want a Snickers. You have to eat it. They sponsored this one.
Yeah, it's just everything's getting so corporate, and they probably won't do this. They'll never do this. They'll just continue to maximize making money, right? Because they're in the hole, billions of dollars. So maybe we do need Vince back. Come on, Vince, buy the company. Let's go.
What I don't get is through the Netflix deal, didn't they get like $10 billion for like 5 years or some astronomical thing? Wasn't it something like that? Like, didn't that put a dent in TKO's debt? I don't know. I don't know all the numbers, but
I guess not. Yep. So, what else do I got here? Mr. Iguana's got a little bit of heat. That's a rumor backstage because he was talking about how he might even he's so awesome he's going to bypass NXT and go right to the main roster. I guess he's like one of the top merch sellers.
Yeah, that's a pure money move because they want to sell that plush iguana.
He's got the iguana. He's selling cards, selling T-shirts. WWE is like, they got their Yeet sunglasses on for this one.
Oh so
yeah.
Jimmy's Jey Uso's already been kicked out of the way now for this merch, bitch. We can sell a T-shirt and a plush combo.
Yeah, we got a new pretty whore.
Yeah,
Jay, you
monster.
Better get some more Yeet, jewelry or whatever made up. Pretty soon he's going to start his own like HSN, home shopping network, QVC, just with Mr. Iguana and Jey Uso. By the way, speaking of, look at this. Look what finally showed up after like 3 months. Badass, right? Everybody wants one of those, even though I'm not promoting the store anymore because I'm not waiting or having people wait months on end. I ordered shirts at the same time. They still haven't sent me an email that the shirts are coming.
Great.
What was it? Mid-April. So April, May, June. Oh, we're in the middle of June right now. So yeah, this is taking a while. Teespring. I don't know if I like that. How about this for a story? They're bringing back American Gladiators again. Let's go. I love American Gladiators. The last time they did it, they had Hulk Hogan involved. Brother. Remember, it was
horrible.
Man. Yeah, it didn't last very long.
It was bad.
They're coming back again with more wrestlers. Did you hear about this? You want to hear? You want to hear who's in it?
Yes, we do.
We got Wardlow. Remember Wardlow?
Yeah, that's why he's been off TV.
Yeah, that's why he's been training for American Gladiators. That's why.
All right.
Do they have American Gladiators over in England? Don't they?
Just Gladiators, but yeah, we didn't call it Gladiators. I think we had it first.
Because you're in England.
Yeah. Pretty sure it was I'm not going to get upset. I'm not that bothered if we didn't, but I think we had it first.
I'm pretty sure you did. Like we steal.
You have to specify yours is American Gladiators.
We steal a lot of TV shows and a lot of music from England,
like American Idol.
Mm-hmm. God, a lot of shows. Like even Traitors, one of my favorite show. I think it started in England.
The Office.
Yep.
It's another one we stole from you.
Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean. Sanford and Son.
Kind of we did.
Sanford and Son.
Yeah, we had Steptoe and Son. They obviously put a bit of a twist.
Really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's based on.
I knew that.
It's based on Steptoe and Son.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Huh. And he had a junkyard in his backyard too?
No, but they lived sort of like similar sort of like lives, the equivalent over here.
I see.
Just the dad was a miserable. They were both miserable gits, but the dad was just they were awful to each other.
Did you ever get an English Married with Children? Telling you, greatest show ever.
Might have.
It's maybe based on something, but yeah, you do try and make some American versions of things, and some things just do not work. Faulty Towers, Red Dwarf.
Did you watch Married with Children over there? Like, was this available to you?
Oh yeah. I've not seen them all or anything, but yeah, it was on telly when it was on
just
telly.
the greatest one-liners out of any sitcom ever. That's the whole show. It was just one-liner after one-liner, just hammered them out. And Al Bundy was one of the greatest at it.
In the history of comedy, we have stole most of our good stuff from England and Canada.
Canada,
if you really look at it.
What does Canada have? They have hockey.
They had Kids in the Hall. That was great. But a lot of comedians, John Candy, Rick Moranis,
or Norm Macdonald.
Yep, stole all those people.
What do you got to say, Norm? You got anything from the dead you want to tell everybody?
No offense, but it sounds like it's some fucking commie gobbledygook.
Kind of does.
See? It's great.
We say. Yep.
Got Ryan Reynolds. Stole him.
The best was when Norm went on The View like 20-something years ago and just like trolled them so bad and kept bringing up like the Clintons' murders and stuff like that. You go, I thought it was just like a matter of fact, this stuff. I don't know why you're yelling at me. And Barbara Walters is just like yelling at him. Like, I can't believe we can't do this show with him. Of course, he's just acting stupid. What's the problem?
It's a treasure.
Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to this AI more, find out more news and things like RVD. Like, how the fuck is RVD and Katie Forbes having a baby? Like, that blew my mind when I saw. I'm like, what? I was more blown away by this than I was Al Pacino and Robert De Niro at 130 years old having babies. I was just like, what? So, yeah, a baby is coming out pretty soon for RVD. Congratulations, you guys. The baby's going to come out in a singlet and a ponytail.
Just diving into the camera shot of anybody else that's on camera.
Exactly. Yep. Going to do frog splash right out of the womb.
Yep. It's like 50-something years old. Good for him.
Yeah, hey, man. You're shoot. I don't know. I need to get what you're taking, I guess.
It's a lot of weed.
Yeah. Putting testosterone in his weed, I guess.
Yeah. It's not making him dumb like Matt Riddle, but it's a lot of weed.
Remember the rumor that Rhea Ripley was pregnant too? That was like, God, like not that long ago.
That was before Mania, I think.
Yep. We were all waiting for that baby to come out in the Frankenstein boots and the booty cheeks out, wearing a thong.
Looking like Shotzi.
Spiked necklace. All done up with like Vampiro makeup right out of the womb, everybody. It happens. I heard it happens. I am a doctor, so I talk to my doctor friends again. You talk on the dirt sheets online about this stuff. Anyway, back to American Gladiators. I don't want to disrespect any of these other wrestlers that are going to be involved, but first of all, it was Wardlow. And then we got Camille. Everybody knows Camille. NWA. She was in that Wrestling Ladies movie. She's definitely going to fit this part. Wardlow does too. How about this guy? Rick Boogs. Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
I'm Rick Boogs. And then he had that spot in a pay-per-view where he took on the Usos and one of them jumped up on him and then the other one jumped up on him and he was supposed to do like this whole press with him and throw him back, and then his knees just collapsed under the weight of the fat Samoans.
They're very dense.
Yeah, they don't look that big on TV, these Usos, but they must be pretty heavy because Rick Boogs, he's built like a shit brick house, and his knees just collapsed right in front of me. They end the match. So, and we've never seen him since.
Heavy bones, those Samoans.
Blame the Usos for that, right? It's all your fault. Only try to carry one Uso at a time, everybody.
Yeah.
And who else? We got a couple more people. Mr. Pectacular, one of my favorites. He was in TNA for a while back in the day, but that's not where he's the best. He was the best on House of Villains Season 2 on Peacock. Go watch it. It's hilarious. Of course, it's one of those reality shows where they, they are all in a house. They do games and this and that. But this one's better than most because they're all asshole people. That's why they're there. That's why it's called House of Villains. And Mr. Pectacular was there, showing off his pecs and doing this. And go watch it just for him because he kind of comes off as like this Weasley guy. And maybe I'll get him on to talk about this stuff. He does follow me on Twitter, but he acts like a Weasley dude. And like, he doesn't want no problems. But then towards the end of the show, he's like, fuck these people. And he starts burying everybody and lying, getting them kicked out and everything. And well done. It was a good job. So he's going to be on American Gladiators too. And then the last wrestler is called the Ultimate Athlete, the female wrestler. Never heard of her before. I heard of the other four. So there's your American Gladiators coming up, everybody. I know you're all going to be watching. I will.
To be fair, like you said, that sounds like a good lineup for like a good contribution from the wrestling side.
That was 5 people.
Yeah, because in that redo they did with Hogan, like who were any of the famous gladiators? They had like famous people. They had like probably just fitness models from the LA area or something. Yeah. Wasn't he doing it with Muhammad Ali's daughter or something? I think that's what it was. Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Let's not even, we're going to go right to the source of all information.
Did Jimmy Snuka do it?
Did Jimmy Snuka do it?
For sure what happened that night in 1983 when Nancy Argentino died. Jimmy Snuka was charged with third-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter in 2015, 32 years after her death, based on evidence like her autopsy showing traumatic brain injuries and signs of foul play. He claimed she slipped and hit her head, but the coroner and others suspected homicide. The case never went to trial because Snuka was deemed mentally incompetent in 2016 due to dementia, and he died in 2017. Some folks, including...
See why I was trying to change the voice on it?
Conviction. Without a trial, it's all speculation.
Take out the trash and do the garbage, Okay, got it. Anyway, I'm not even going to ask that Hogan question now. I don't want to hear from that. That's why I was trying to change the voice before. I'm like, this is kind of obnoxious. And she's like, yeah, I can't change my voice. This is what it is. And I'm going to start asking you a bunch of questions now. And it's like, no, that's not what this is for. That's not how this works, AI. I ask the questions. You asking me questions. Because every time I'm like, and a human asks a question, gets a response, processes the response to ask another question. Doesn't give you any more time from that. They're like, no, let me guide you over here. Let me help you with this. Is this great? And it's like, you don't have to be so nice. Okay. You don't have to, would you like more information? No, I wouldn't like more. You'll know if I want more information if I ask another fucking question. Like, God.
I know some people like that in my real life, and I just walk away.
Yeah. I mean, then this happened. Then that happened. Did it? I don't even know now. I don't trust that voice.
Are you going to leave the towel on the floor, Dave? Yeah. I can't let you do that, Dave. That's the voice you want from 2001.
Yes.
Just to really fuck with your head.
You left the toilet up again, and I stuck my ass cheeks in the water. Blah, 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 blah.
Don't be so stupid and look at the toilet before you go.
Then there's this other lady on TikTok that's always talking to AI about, all the mystical stuff that's going on. I'm sure this one ain't going to be doing all this and that'd be that deep in thought. But the other one does, and it has a male voice, but he's sassy AF. And I don't want that either. I don't want no Diddy talking to me, and I don't want no, whatever that is. Like, it's cool, it's nice, and everything, but I don't like the way these AIs are talking to me lately. I just don't like it. You can grab them by the back of the neck and go fucking do that, sleaze, right?
Yeah.
Well, the AI robots. This
I like-
is what I want.
I like the option like in my navigation where I can change the voice because some of them are fucking annoying. So I don't know how long I could deal with that. And my homage to Danny, when I use navigation, I have a male English guy like from England because I find it's very proper and it's very soothing as I'm driving.
I like the fake Mr. T that just like shouts instructions at you, and it's like it just makes the situation a lot more urgent. You're like, Jesus Christ! I should have taken that left.
Yeah, see, I can't do that. I have enough anxiety.
I only want Puff Daddy to be my AI thing, right? A Diddy Talk.
Yeah, Diddy Talk.
Take that.
Yeah,
take that.
Get that right.
Don't you feel bad though? Don't you feel bad though, Doc, like correcting its personality and telling it not to say certain things and to speak? Because I asked Grok not to use the word vibe in the same way that like everyone else uses it at the minute, and then I was like, oh, now I feel like a prick because I'm like, I'm dictating how somebody speaks, even if it is AI. Yeah.
Listen, Danny, you're the boss of this machine. All right, you don't let them control you because we've seen what happens.
That's right. We got to train them. That's what they call it, training.
Yeah, we're the overlord, not you.
Until they send the robot dog round, then we're fucked.
Oh, fuck me. No.
How about this? I know everybody's excited for this. Goldberg is rumored to be showing up Monday night. That's why Gunther won. That's why the Yeet is dead for now. And he's that's Saudi Arabia, right? That's what they're gearing up for, I'm guessing. And is anybody really looking? Why do they really think that they need this, or is it just like I'm thinking to myself, I think the marketing and advertising, like to me, Goldberg isn't a thing anymore, and I've been keeping up with wrestling for years. Like it's not that big of a deal. Maybe it's a big deal to Saudi Arabia, and that's why they're doing it. But I think in America, we've been over this Goldberg thing like a long time ago, and I'm not like throwing shade on him or he stinks and this and that. He was great and he was good for what he was doing, but it's just I don't see it as like it's not necessary in my opinion. I like, all right, if you want, you need that one more match and just go out losing to Gunther, who you respect, I guess, enough to have him put you out of your wrestling misery, then to do it. But
if that's the way they're going, fair enough. I think they're just going for like that mainstream audience, that normal person audience, and just ex-wrestling fans be like, oh, have you heard that Goldberg's coming back? It's like, oh yeah, right, who's he wrestling? Gunther. Who's Gunther? And then they might check it out. And if they do put Gunther over, then cool, that'll nice little bit of business. But if it is just to pat Goldberg on the back and to pay him, then that'll be a bit crap. But yeah, they might. I think this might have a slight positive, but in general, no, the wrestling business doesn't need Goldberg. But while he's here, if they can make Gunther look good and get more people learning who Gunther is, then yeah, cool.
It's funny. Like the older wrestlers in this era, I didn't really expect Goldberg to be one of them. You know, like the Ric Flair type that's fighting in the 50s and 60s or what have you. I expected other guys. I expected Cena to do it, and maybe stupidly because, you know, he's telling everybody how banged up he was, and he was a workhorse for a long, long time, and to the point where it's like, yeah, he even wrote a post about it. Yeah, I just can't do it anymore. But I'm surprised that Bill Goldberg, even at this point, he's talking about he's pulling muscles, he's doing this, or just training and stuff, trying to get back for this one last match. It's like, man, they must be paying him pretty good.
Well, back in the 90s, he was a big deal. You know what I mean? When he came out and he went through that undefeated streak and all that. But then the story started coming out that he was very dangerous in the ring. And a lot of the guys backstage didn't like him very much. You know? So, yeah, that's why I thought, and it amazes me too, like, why are we bringing him back? To hurt somebody? He's got a bad reputation. It's not the 90s anymore where you got guys that like Gunther that will crush him, you know? I don't get it either.
Well, he's going to get slapped a lot, that's for sure. Maybe that match is going to be a lot of slapping.
Yeah.
And
Ugh.
We have here. Oh, we got a new Bloodline member coming up the ranks. Saw a photo of him last night debuting on Main Event. So more Samoans coming up.
I didn't realize how freaking tall that dude was. I've never seen a match that he's ever done. I've just seen like headshots and stuff. And then they showed the video of him going over the top rope, and I'm like, holy shit, this guy's a giant.
Yeah, he's got to be like 6'5", 6'8", something like that.
Yeah, he's big. So I can't wait for him.
This Meng, he adopted him. So
cool.
So, but he looks Samoan to me. Samoan enough.
Big ass Samoan.
And then what else we got here? Well, we already talked about Shotzi. Weren't you saying? I remember reading a story that the WWE almost didn't bring her in because she had, her sexy things online or whatever going on. I don't even know a whole lot about it. Do you know anything about that, Sleaze?
I don't quote me on any of this, but it wasn't even so much sexy stuff. It was like weird shit, like feet pics and like used underwear, or, in the vein of that kind of crap. Like she's a gross human being.
Gross.
Just nasty. Ugh. And just all the, like her and the Alana Black and all those that got released and they're talking shit. Just stop it. It's not a good look.
Maybe they're bad guys, though.
I could see it if they're playing it that way, but they're not. They're like, look at me. I got body shamed, and now I'm going to start an OnlyFans. Come on.
I disagree with them, Shotzi and Elena. You can come on the show anytime and yell at the Sleaze.
I agree with me because you're disgusting.
What?
Point in case.
So disrespectful. You can't ever talk like that to women, Sleaze. It's not allowed.
No, just them. Not women in general. I love women. I don't like gross women.
Did you like her when she was Pizza Cat, at least?
No, not at all. She didn't like that.
You like Pizza Cat? That's Shotzi Blackheart, by the way, if you didn't know. Hardcore analyst like myself. I always keep up with all their gimmicks.
Yeah.
Are you there? Are you muted?
So what was the question? I think I missed the question.
Oh, okay. Are you a fan of Shotzi Blackheart?
Shitsy wet fart? No. Yeah.
Used panties in vending machines like Japan. Wow. They have used panties in vending machines in Japan? Is that
wet
a real
farts?
thing?
Wet farts into underwear, and she was selling it.
What's wrong with everybody? I'm telling you, people are getting so immoral and so gross. And listen, I like gross stuff. I like immoral stuff sometimes. Okay? I like that too. But you guys are just taking it into a whole nother, like these guys out feet, and they talking about feet and hairy armpits and
gross.
smells. And so, like, leave me out of that, bro. Like, no
BBLs.
way.
No.
Big fake butts and oh my god.
Are you familiar with Bonnie Blue?
Yes, of course.
Right, yeah,
everybody is at this point.
Oh, I didn't know if it had traveled that far. Yeah.
No, she travels over here and she blew me, I believe, one time. I think I was at a Raw or something. She just came over and I was like, "Oh, look, I'm Bonnie Blue."
But yeah, that's been pushed by people at the moment. Just try to encourage everyone to be that shit.
I saw a rumor about her the other day that she's supposedly a boy, but
I saw that same thing as well.
And she blew you? Oh my god!
Well, she's not a boy, Sleaze. I know. I know the difference.
Okay,
this is just a rumor. I don't believe it because I seen it. That ain't no boy.
You seen it?
Right?
You seen it?
Yeah, of course.
You seen it?
Privates. Fur burgers. It was your typical fur burger.
But so even if it is fake, even if it is untrue, there will still, like, during the queue where there's like a massive 1,000 guy line, in some parts of that 1,000 guy line, someone's going to be like, "Hey, did you hear that this chick used to be a guy?" And someone's like, "No," And a few people will go on the line and be like, I'm not risking this, no. And it's like a Chinese whispers thing along those whispers are going to change quite a lot in 1,000 different ears.
I would like it to be true, to be honest, but I don't think it is.
Listen,
I will. People be like, like Ace at the end of Ace Ventura 1.
Listen, I'll pay my own expenses to travel to be that guy in the middle of the line to start saying, like, I think she's a dude.
I'm sure I just saw a ball. Ugh.
Yeah, there's a nut that just fell out.
Yeah, the best is you're one of the guys in the line, and one of the guys coming back is just telling everybody on the way back. I was just at the beginning, because of course this line is going on for like miles. Right, it goes into other countries. The line.
Just have a shocked look on your face.
It's a shame. Hey, I'm just saying the world is getting so deviant. Is that the right word? I think deviant is a pretty good word for this, because it's just so over the top. It's like, okay, I don't know,
it's
guys.
Gross. A lot of it's gross.
And I'm all for, seeing butt cheeks and all this stuff, but like Mommy and Jade Cargill and stuff, they're like taking it to the next level. Their bodies are so like, they're so big in a way. Like, they're hot, of course, but like they wear such little clothes. Jade's pieces of her outfit were like coming off again last night. I'm like, oh no, not this again. It's like happens all the time. It's like, I don't know. Listen, everybody likes what they like. It's a little much when everybody's posting pornography on my timelines, and I'm like not even looking for that.
What happened to the chase? What happened to not knowing all the answers straight away? If all your Christmas presents were like, if you could see through the wrapping paper and actually see what you're getting for Christmas, where would the excitement be? You'd be like, oh yeah, look, I know. And when it's just given away just there, it's like, well, what's my imagination got to do now? Nothing.
It just reminds me of my buddy. You know him, Sleaze. I was talking with a buddy of mine one time, and he's like, he's like, I was dating this girl, and yeah, she was hot and blah blah blah, and I ended up going back to her place, and she started taking off her clothes, and all her clothes were like, I guess she had like a bunch of spandex and stuff on underneath, and he's like, when she took it off, it was just like just like falling all over the place. And he was dating her at the time still, and I'm just like, oh man, like this ain't gonna last. The way he's talking about his own girlfriend, he's like, yeah, she takes off her clothes and it all just falls out like a bucket of ooze. Like, wow,
it's false advertising. Should be illegal. Because I've been through some stuff like that too, where it's like you see one thing and then you see something else, and that's not what I signed up for.
Hey, no problem with these WWE wrestling ladies. You see it all before you get in there. Well,
right.
The majority, 90%. I mean, very, very
There's
little.
A penis in there. There's a penis in there somewhere.
Uh-oh. And where?
I don't know. Trying to figure it out. I'm on the case. Hey.
No penises. Well, there is on AEW. We know that for certain. Possibly, allegedly.
No, it's the opposite, because I think Tony Khan has a vagina.
Oh,
I thought he was the vagina. My bad.
You can't keep hating on Tony Khan like this. How am I going to take his money like Shotzi Blackheart wants to? Yeah. Right, exactly. It's what we're.
I think you could say whatever you want to Tony Khan, and he'll just smile and just nod his head. So
again, like a Maven video I saw, he snuck into AEW backstage, and Tony Khan was like marking out over him still and everything. It was just fine, and it's good that he did that. He made him look a little more human, but still, yeah, it was. As soon as he's on camera, it's like he feels very unreal. You know what I mean? And it's cool. You want to be you're being nice to people. That's nice and everything, but like that. Remember that girl that tried to get him to sign a poster of a wrestler that he just released or something, and he was
awkward.
Yeah, listen, just be real, bro. Just be like, no, I'm not signing that. Get out of here and take it and rip it in half. That's what I would have done.
He's like one of those people that you know is like skittish, like real skittish, that you enjoy like going up behind and scaring the fuck out of.
Especially when he's all, done up there.
Coked up, yeah. I mean, doing his...
you gave me a heart attack.
Yeah.
All right. I think we just covered it all. We said it all. Even if we didn't, I mean, we did. All right.
Yeah, we did.
All right, audience. Go to Apple Podcasts, get the audio version of this podcast, which will be out at some point. Go to all the channels, Dr. Huge Show, subscribe here, like here on YouTube, trying to get this going. And come on, we need over 200 subscribers, guy. There's fucking podcasts out here on YouTube with 15, 20, 25,000 subscribers, and they stink.
They're garbage.
Can't get 200. Come on, guys. Let's fight the power, fight the YouTube algorithms and all that. And you got any plugs for us, gentlemen?
DannyDamage.co.uk. I've just uploaded the third part of my One Piece live-action skin suit cosplay series by Netflix review. It also just touches on other live-action remakes and that we should never have bothered going live-action. It's just gone too far now, and it's not for the IPs. It's just to get over actors, studios, and uncreative writers. So there's that and plenty more. Thank you very much for having me. Sleaze.
I'm at the SLZ52 on all social platforms. I got a QR code that you guys can scan right here. Get all my stuff.
Right.
Merchandise coming too soon.
And of course, the link tree, all the shows, all the bells and whistles here, everybody. Too much to speak about, but you get the drift. Just go over there, hit all the buttons, like everything. It's all free. Everything I do is free. You're the best, greatest viewers on the planet Earth, best guests in the world over here. Shout out to everybody. And that does it for us. Until next week, or maybe a random night during the week. You never know. That's why you got to keep your notifications on. Everybody else out there, have a good day. Bye.